Assalamualaikum. Okay, now I'm just going to talk. No outline, no perfect opening, just talking. Because honestly, every time I try to sound proper in every conversation or any podcast, it stops sounding like me. So yeah, let's get started. You know what's funny? I've been learning English for years, like literally years. In school, courses, movies, from songs, and even in social media. And still, there are moments when my mouth just refuses to open. Not because I don't know what to say, but because my brain suddenly goes and said like, "Wait, don't embrace yourself." And the annoying thing, yes, nobody even said anything yet. I think Indonesians are really good at stopping ourselves, right? We stop before mistakes happen. We stop before people laugh, and we stop before anyone can judge. And we call it as being careful. But sometimes I wonder, are we careful or are we just scared? I remember this one moment clearly. Like there is one moment that I want to ask us just a simple question in English, not a deep question or a smart question. It's just a normal and really simple question. But instead of asking it, I translated it in my head. Check the grammar, and I imagine how it will sound and also how people will react it. And by the time I was done imagining, the moment was gone and someone else spoke. The class moved on and I stay quiet. And the worst thing, uh, after that, I blame myself. I told to myself, you should be more confident. You should practice more, and you should stop being shy. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized this is not just happening to me. This happens to a lot of people in Indonesia. Think about it. How many people do you know who say, I understand English, but speaking is hard? The sentence is everywhere, but why is speaking always the hardest part? Listening is fine. Reading is fine. Even writing, still manageable, but speaking, suddenly terrifying. Because speaking is public. Speaking means you cannot hide. Your accent is there. Your pauses are there. Your mistakes are there. And in Indonesia, mistakes are remembered. Sometimes joked about, sometimes correct in a way that doesn't feel helpful, and sometimes also turned into labels. So silence is always start to feel like protection. This is where I want to say something important. This fear is not imaginary. It's not overthinking. It's not weakness. There's actually a name for it. In language study, it's called foreign language anxiety. And when I first learned that, I felt relieved because finally there was a way to explain that feeling without blaming myself anymore. A researcher named Elaine Horwitz studied this for years. She found that people can be completely capable in a language and still freeze when speaking it like us right now. Because the anxiety is not about knowledge, it's about fear of evaluation. Horwitz talk about how speaking a foreign language make people feel exposed, like they are being watched, measured, and also judged. And honestly, that description fits Indonesian classrooms perfectly. We grew up in environments where being wrong is embarrassing, where mistakes are corrected loudly, and where people laugh even if they don't mean to hurt you, right? So when English enters the room, uh, our brain remembers all of that moments, and it goes like better stay quiet. Horwitz explains three main reasons behind this anxiety. The first is communication apprehension. That's when you're scared your message won't come out right. Not because you don't understand, but because you are afraid it will sound stupid. The second is fear of negative evaluations. This one is huge in Indonesia. We care deeply about how others see us, about not losing face. So speaking English feel risky. The third is test anxiety. And this part really hits because sometimes conversations don't feel like conversations. They feel like an exam. And when everything feels like a test, silence feel like the safest answer. Okay, now let's talk about brain for a bit, but don't worry, not in science class way. Okay, there's a linguist named Stephen Krashen. He introduced something called the affective filter hypothesis. Okay, basically, he said emotions can block language. Imagine your brain has get. When you feel relaxed and safe, the gate is open. The words come in, come out. But when you feel anxious or scared, the gate is closed. And suddenly, everything, disappear. That moment when your mind goes blank, that's the filter. That moment when you forget a word you have used 1,000 times, that's also the filter. It's not stupidity, it is fear. And honestly, Indonesian learning environments often raise that filter without realizing it. Too much focus on being correct, too much comparison to native speakers, and too little space to be wrong safely. There's also something deeper happening socially. A sociologist named Pierre Bourdieu talked about language as power. Power. He said language has value. Of course, some ways of speaking are respected. Some some are not. This is called linguistic capital. In Indonesia, English has high value, but only if it sounds right. Native like pronunciation, praised accented English, often mocked. So when Indonesians speak English, they are not just talking, they are performing. And performance creates pressure, of course. That's why people say, sorry, my English is bad, before they even speak. And they are protecting themselves, lowering expectations, and trying not to fall. If you look around, the evidence is everywhere. Students avoiding eye contact when asked to speak. People preferring chat over voice notes. And employees asking colleges to speak for them. These are not coincidences. These are patterns, and patterns mean something bigger is going on. And there are evidence in social media. I think what makes this sad is that language was never meant to be perfect. It was meant to connect each other, but somewhere along the way we turned English to a test of intelligence, not a tool for communication. And when language becomes a test, people stop using it. So if you are listening to this and you have ever stayed silent, hesitated, or felt your heart beat beat faster just because you had to speak English, you are not alone. You are not broken. You are reacting normally to an environment that makes mistakes feel dangerous. And maybe the first step to speaking more freely is realizing that the fear itself is not your fault. Okay, I actually want to sit with this feeling a bit longer because every time we talk about fear of speaking English, people rush to solutions. They will say, just practice, just be confident, just speak. And honestly, that advice always annoyed me. Not because it's wrong, but because it skips the hardest part, the emotional part. Let's be honest for a second. Indonesians don't grow up in environments where being wrong is natural. Being wrong is embarrassing. Being wrong is remembered. Sometimes being wrong becomes a story people retell. So when people say, don't be afraid of mistakes, it sounds nice, but it ignores reality. Fear doesn't disappear just because someone tells you to be brave. I want to talk about accents because this is something we pretend doesn't matter, but it does. In theory, everyone says accent is okay, accent is identity, but in practice, we know which accent get praised, and we know which accent get laughed at. And Indonesians are very aware of this hierarchy. So even before speaking, our brain is already ranking itself. Is my pronunciation good enough? Does this sound weird? Will people notice? That mental noise is exhausting. And the thing is, accents are not mistakes. Accents are proof that you speak more than one language, but socially, they are treated like flaws. So again, silence feels better and safer. I also think school trauma plays a bigger role than we admit. Think back to English classes. Who talked the most? who stayed quiet. Usually the same few students, and the rest learn something very important very early. It's better not to speak than to speak wrong. That lesson sticks. It follows us to university, to work, to adulthood, to connects again to Elaine Horwitz. She emphasized that language anxiety is learned through experience. It doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from repeated moments of embarrassment, correction, and judgment. So when someone freezes while speaking English, they are not reacting to the present moment. They are reacting to the memory that they have. And that explains why even casual situations feel heavy. Even friendly conversations feel risky because the brain doesn't separate safe English from test English. It just hears English and raises the alarm. I also want to talk about comparison because this quietly destroys confidence. Social media makes it worse. We see people speaking English fluently, smooth pronunciation, confident delivery, and we compare our inside to their outside. We don't see their anxiety, their practice, their mistakes. We just see the final performance. And then we decide we are not ready. This is exactly what Pierre Bourdieu meant by linguistic capital. Hmm, hmm. Language becomes a symbol. If you speak well, you gain status. That is, if you don't, you risk losing it. So people wait. They wait until they are good enough. But the problem is that moment never comes. And here's something people rarely talk about. Silence becomes a habit again. The more you avoid speaking, the harder speaking feels. Not because you forget English, but because your confident muscle weakness. So anxiety fits silence, and silence fits anxiety. It's a loop. This is where Stephen Krashen's affective filter becomes painfully accurate. Oh no. When anxiety is high, input doesn't become output. You can watch movies, you can understand podcasts, you can read articles, but when it's time to speak, nothing comes up. And people understand this as lack of skill, but it's not. But it's not. It's not. Apa ya? Sorry, but it's not. It's emotional blockage. I also want to say something uncomfortable. Sometimes Indonesians are harsh to each other. We laugh at accent, we correct people mid sentence, we make jokes. Maybe we think it's harmless, but for the person speaking it, it can shut them down for years. That's not exaggeration. That's how anxiety works. If you are listening to this and you are someone who corrects others, I'm not saying stop helping. I'm just saying timing and tone matter because language confidence is fragile, and Once it breaks, it takes a long time to rebuild. I keep coming back to this idea. What if English wasn't treated like proof or intelligence? What if it was just a tool? And what if mistakes were boring instead of embarrassing? I honestly think more Indonesians would speak. And no, this doesn't mean grammar doesn't this doesn't mean that grammar doesn't matter. It means grammar shouldn't come before courage. Accuracy can be learned. Confidence has to be protected. Let me say this clearly. If someone understands you, communication succeeds. Everything else is refinement, but our system often flips that logic. We prioritize perfection and lose communication. And I think that's why this fear feels so deeply personal, because it's not just about how language and so this it's about identity. Speaking English feels like putting versions of yourself on display, a version that not fully polished, and that's scary. So yeah, when Indonesians hesitate to speak English, it is not because they are don't care. It's because they care too much. They care about sounding smart. They about not being laughed at, about being respected, and honestly, that makes sense. If you take anything from this episode, let it be this. Fear of speaking episode kayak fear of speaking English in Indonesia is not personal failure. It's learned, it's social, it's emotional, and understanding. That doesn't magically fix it, but it does remove the shame. And removing shame is a good place to start. And there's one more thing, because I keep seeing it everywhere lately. If we look at social media right now, Indonesians are actually not silent at all when it comes to English. They still use English a lot, but they use it in a very specific way. Through writing, scroll through Twitter, Instagram captions, threads, even TikTok descriptions. So many people express their sadness, their anger, their overthinking, their deepest thoughts in English. And what's interesting is these are often the same people who would say, I'm not confident speaking English. So clearly, this is not about ability. This is about feeling safe. Writing feels safer than speaking, because with writing, you have control. You can edit it, you can delete it, you can rewrite one sentence 10 times if you want. There's no pressure to be fast, no pressure to be spontaneous. You don't have to respond immediately, and for people with language anxiety, that control is everything. Speaking is live. When you speak, everything happens in real time. Your pronunciation is exposed, your pauses are obvious, your nervousness is visible, and once the words are out, you cannot take them back. But writing gives distance. Writing gives times. Writing gives protection. And then there's another layer to this phenomenon that we cannot ignore. Anonymous accounts. In Indonesia, a lot of people choose to express themselves in English through alter accounts, second accounts, anonymous profiles, and the choice is not random because anonymity lowers social risk. If someone criticizes you, if someone mocks your English, if someone attacks your opinion, it's not about real name, it's not about your main account, not your personal identity. So the emotional cost is lower. This is actually very important because it shows something very clear. Indonesians want to express themselves in English. They just don't want to pay a high social price for it. And your writing, especially anonymous writing, becomes a kind of emotional side. If we connect this back to theory, this fits perfectly with Stephen Krashen's affective filter hypothesis. When people write instead of speak, the affective filter is lower. There's less fear, less embarrassment, less pressure. That's why many people can write beautifully in English but freeze when they have to speak. It is not about because they cannot speak. It's because the emotional conditions are completely different. If we look at this through Pierre Bourdieu's perspective, this is also about protecting social capital. Speaking English with a strong Indonesian accent and a personal account can feel risky. People might judge, people might compare, people might look down, but writing in English on an anonymous account, the risk of losing social status almost disappears. So this choice, writing instead of speaking, anonymous instead of personal, is not weakness. It's strategy. This also helps us question a very common assumption. People often say, Indonesians who use English and social media are just showing off. But that's a shallow interpretation. What's really happening is adaptation. People are finding spaces where they feel safe enough to use the every language. They are choosing contexts where mistakes won't hurt as much. And honestly, this makes me think maybe the problem is not that Indonesians are afraid of English, but maybe the problem is our social spaces are still not kind enough to mistakes. Because if speaking English felt as safe as typing it, I'm pretty sure we would hear a lot of more voices. This part actually strengthens the main point of this episode. Silence in spoken English doesn't mean absence of thoughts. It means people are redirecting their voices to spaces where they feel protected, and social media with rating, editing, anonymity has become that space. Alright, I think I'll stop here before I start repeating myself too much. Even though repetition is kind of the point. So thanks for staying with me this long. And if this sounded a little too real, then yeah, you are probably part of the fun phenomenon too. Thank you. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.